So I thought I'd come on today from outside and just share a little bit more about the immune system with you from my book, one of these books that I found. I might have showed you guys in the beginning of the year. So we still have more of our PowerPoint, but I just thought I'd take some time and do a short little video on this and just do it from this book. So vaccinations. During a vaccination, the small amount of an inactivated pathogen is injected into your arm, and it goes on to say that your body mounts an immune response to that pathogen, producing antibodies. Now remember, antibodies are made of proteins, and antibodies are going to basically do a lock and key with the antigen, which is the marker that is on the pathogen. And these antibodies will remain in your blood, and they're prepared to fight off the real pathogen if you come in contact with it. So right now, that's what we're sort of looking for, right, is a vaccination for this coronavirus, so that we can have the antibodies in place that if we encounter it, it will do a lock and key with the antigen that is on the pathogen of that coronavirus. They look like spikes sort of coming out of that virus. You probably have seen that on TV or in the news. And then if we do that lock and key, we won't have to worry about getting sick from it. Okay, inflammation. You probably have heard a lot of talk about inflammation. Everybody seems to talk about it, and they talk about a lot of the things that you can take, like cinnamon and turmeric and stuff that can help your inflammation be low, because the human body should not always be inflamed. But there are times where we do need inflammation to happen, and this is after, again, you get a cut, you get a scrape. So basically it goes on to say that you are going to get this redness and the swelling, and that's inflammation, and that just basically means that the cell is damaged, either from an infection or through an injury. They release a chemical that releases the blood flow to the area, causing inflammation. With increased blood flow, more white blood cells can get to the area to start fighting off pathogens. And so inflammation in this case is a good thing. We just don't want it all of our life every day to be inflamed. We want it to be when we have something going on, like a scrape or a cut. We're going to skip over the lymphatic system. It's something that you don't need to know. If we move on down here to diseases, they're just going to talk about that really disease is anything that disrupts your body. It could be 24 hours, it could be longer than that. And then there are the two types, infectious and non-infectious. They give us some examples of some diseases, like the viruses, which are the flu and the colds and AIDS, and obviously this coronavirus. We have some funguses like athlete's foot, yeast infections, there's strep throat, and all of those would be considered to be infectious diseases. And an infectious disease is, again, when it can be passed, so you can spread it. And this one just goes on to talk about, like, if you have traveled, and it can pass to your friends, and it can pass through food, water, through the air. And then the non-infectious, those are the ones like our diabetes, cancer, heart disease, and these are ones that can be caused through maybe a mutation, which we know is when there is something wrong with the DNA, right? There's a mutation in the DNA. We talked about the gene mutations. It could be that maybe, skin, you're out in the sun and the UV rays have reached your skin and caused skin cancer. Okay.